All right, welcome back to O.C.D. Today we're going to be talking about cosplay. I have a friend that does cosplay, and I want to ask her a couple of questions. So we're going to talk about how cosplay world is, the materials, the money. Also, if you had all the money in the world, what would you want to be? Anyway, today I have Rolonda.
Hi.
And I also have
Gary.
And AJ.
So yeah, we're going to talk about the cosplay world, especially because Anime Expo is actually a month from now.
3 weeks away.
Starts on July 1st, so it's like a month away. Well, less than a month, but
it's literally 3
more
weeks.
or less a month.
Here at Anime Expo, you're gonna sponsor this shit. Just playing. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to talk to Rolonda because she actually does cosplay. I don't. I have friends that do it. She's one of them. She's probably the most well-known one I have. I mean, her boyfriend does some, but he's not that great.
You little bitch.
You're kidding. You do really well.
Max, just say it. He's a little bitch. Just say it.
No, he does good work. I'll put some pictures up of his Mortal Kombat stuff.
He did a good Scorpion.
Yeah, he did really good Scorpion. Especially on the budget. Nate doesn't have a budget. That's true. He does. I seen the materials. Like, damn.
Yeah,
He's like, his tire outside looked pretty good, so he just chopped off like regular tire pits.
Fucking just like robbing people. Like, yeah, I'm on a great budget. 5-finger discount budget.
I don't think Nate could rob anyone. Anyways, let's go to the first question. So, the first question is, I want to say, what would be your best cosplay?
What would be my best?
Yeah.
What's the one you're most proud of?
Yeah.
Right.
Symmetra.
Yeah, but then I half think it doesn't count because I made it twice.
Well, it takes time to perfect something.
Yeah, and then the first time I procrastinated and then did a lot of things, 3 all-nighters before the con. That's like a very common cosplayer thing.
Well, people bust all-nighters to do it before the con?
Yeah, no matter how soon you start, you'll be like busting all-nighters before the con.
It's always like the detail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's
really
everybody.
Like
Like,
devils
if
in
you're,
the details.
you're thinking,
man.
I could just change it up just a bit more. Just like when I think when you were doing your paper. You know, you
yeah.
had to change it up.
Yeah, I had to change it last minute, and so I changed it up like the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's into one doing it. So anyway, so Symmetra's your favorite. What's your least favorite?
Least favorite. I don't know if you've seen Code Geass.
Oh, yeah, I love
But
Geass.
I did Valletta Nu
Oh, okay.
before, the blonde gray-haired woman.
Oh, okay.
That was so cut and paste together, and then we got one really good photographer to take a picture of it, and I look back at it like, oh, everything's falling apart. I used like half a t-shirt. It was so just glued together. I knew nothing about sewing. Huh?
Was that like in high school, or when was that?
I think high school. It happened in Anime Expo. I feel like maybe after 2012, maybe. Yeah.
Damn, so you've been doing cosplay for a while now. 2017 right now.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, but it's just like when you do it casually, it doesn't really matter. Like now, I feel a little bit more serious about it just because of that one really good experience I had in my Symmetra cosplay. But everything before that, since I've only gone to an anime con, I felt like everything I had to cosplay needed to be from an anime. And anime dark-skinned characters are hard to find.
No, I mean, in Anime Expo or like, because we've also been like Kamikaze.
Yeah.
They everyone just dresses up like in whatever form. Like no one ever really says anything.
Yeah, and like, but my mentality was like, Anime Expo, it needs to be anime. And I did watch a lot of anime, but none of them had like, or the dark-skinned characters were background. And I've been cosplaying this character like for 2 years in a row. And no one knows who it is, but I get a lot of compliments on it. But she's also supposed to have a huge sword, but that was before I even cared about props, which is another reason why Symmetra is like up there, just because I made a gun.
Props.
Okay.
Yeah, and also incorporating lights.
Would you say props are like the hardest thing of the cosplay, or like the simplest?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are very lazy about props, just because a lot of model cosplayers, like they're really just pretty and they just sew. They commission someone to make their weapons, or they get it 3D printed and painted.
And they don't do it themselves. So.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, I'm very crafty. There's a few different kinds of cosplayers. And I just happen to be like the more hands-on. I need to make everything.
Yeah, I seen your Symmetra gun. It looks pretty good. I was like, wow, I made this out of foam? It does not look like it's made out of
You just
foam.
need
It also
brighter.
fell apart.
You need brighter LED lights and stuff, huh?
Yeah, I'm updating that too for Anime Expo.
I guess that's one good thing about like when we do cosplay, you guys see what worked and what didn't, so you could just improve it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so now that you've done Symmetra twice, how did you improve it from then to now?
The prop was a prop. I don't know if you've seen the original Symmetric gun, but it was pretty much 2D.
I mean, too thick was
It
paper.
was flat.
Oh.
It was still thick, but it was flat. It was done literally the night before. And it was tossed together because I completely forgot about it. The dress fits a lot better. Because before, you know, she kind of has like a leotard thing going on where it's like a full swimsuit and then the dress on top of it.
Yeah.
This one, I was like, fuck that. Underwear and shirt.
It's more comfortable, right?
Yeah, and also like when I have to go to the bathroom, I don't have to unclothe myself.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah,
Like,
how is like mainly cosplayers go to use the restroom? They just go full on naked and
That's
just.
a really like important thing we think about when it comes to making
Like, is
cosplay.
it-
How
is
to
it-
go to the bathroom. Some people just don't eat, don't drink.
Oh, that's yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
but
the whole
some people
time.
you still have to go to the fucking bathroom being somewhere for
Eventually.
hours.
Yeah.
Even if you don't drink.
Some people hold it, and then if anything,
They got a bottle.
they just try to get out as soon as possible, or like as soon as they feel some kind of sensation, because they can break a costume trying to get out of it for the sake of going to the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I've
So
never
it's-
had that shit. No.
Dude, I wonder how all those fucking people out there on those like big cardboard ones fucking feel. They probably have to take every fucking piece of that shit off.
A lot of that's like all one piece, so it's just like
yeah, but like, where do you leave that when you go to the restroom? Like, did you leave by the door?
With a good
just
friend.
because like con bathrooms have so much space. Like there's like a little, I don't know, a cul-de-sac kind of situation
like a little lobby
with
inside it.
mirrors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it.
But I've never seen
I
someone.
guess that's why people would prefer more skimpier outfits because it's just way much easier to
to
use
take
the
off and
the
use it.
restroom.
Low budget,
Yeah, low budget
less
too. Yeah.
material.
Or have like a cosplay gang that just follows you. Like, I'm gonna use the restroom. Hold my arm.
That's the
Didn't we do
boyfriend.
that for her last time when
Yeah,
she
you
went
guys
to-
were my cosplay gang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy asked me to take. Like, oh, can I get a picture? I'm like, yeah.
You feel powerful.
I feel like an agent. I'm like, I'm fucking $15 for pictures.
We all wore black that
I'm like,
day
I
too.
exist too. Look at me. Why not ask me?
That was funny.
Because you're too important for them low level people.
Yeah, you're the star.
Don't look at me.
Charge him! Charge him!
All right. Well, my next question is, well, this is for all of us. If we had the money, what cosplay would you pick? Let's go with you first, Rolonda. Like, if you had all the money and materials.
Like pretty much from either anime, gaming, or like regular comics.
Yeah. Right now, what's like the number one cosplay?
I've always wanted to do a mascot cosplay, like a huge suit to go in, like a cartoon character,
Should
mainly
be
from
the-
Animal Crossing.
I don't like the giant head. Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Should be
So
that
like I'm
dude
in a
from The
full suit. I don't
Simpsons.
even have to care about like I don't know shaving and like makeup. Psh.
That's true. You just go in your clothes underneath that. But then it depends if the day's hot because you're gonna be sweating inside that mask.
Yeah, there's some people who make huge ass plushies that they go inside, and then it's really warm in there. I've talked to this one girl about it.
I have another cosplayer that does that.
Yeah,
That's funny. I seen when I went
it was a big
to
duck.
what was it? I think it was last Anime Expo. Someone was dressed as a giant bear, like you know that
Pedo bear?
There you go.
Oh,
Uh-huh. They was dressed as that bear
You
and
know,
it
it's
looks
a
so
pedo bear.
hot.
yeah, they're very warm. But then cons are pretty cold if you're inside.
Yeah, if you're in air conditioning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But mascot.
What about you, Gary? If you had the money, what would you pick? What would be? I mean,
Well, I mean, if I actually had the money, I would. Well, it breaks into two different forms. If I was just to go straight from anime, I would choose Madara, because I always thought that the suits that they have, it's like basically Japanese like samurai or warrior. It looks pretty cool to have, in general. So I would like to do that. And then if I had to go into gaming wise, I would get a character from Onimusha, Samanosuke, but when he goes into his Oni demon form, because it just looks super badass. And because in Onimusha, there's he has more than just one sword. He has 3 different swords that he eventually gets. And the one sword that I would want, or if I could make, would be it's called I think the Baskin blade, or pretty much when you don't know the name of it, you just call it the Oni blade, because it's the most strongest blade there is, and it looks super badass. I would choose him in his demon form or Oni form.
and anime stuff. So games and I don't know. I always think about when people go to the conventions, and how they do it's Anime Expo, and then people are like, oh, why are you a comic book character? And then some people are game characters, and I'm like, that's the same thing, right? If it's a game that's anime style, it's the same thing, right?
I mean,
JRPG.
I think if you go to an anime expo, you could dress up wherever you want too, because like they have game consoles in there too. Like people are promoting their video games and all that. Halo was in a damn anime.
But
You
people-
could be a Master Chief.
Yeah, that's true.
You could fucking like. I'm pretty sure Batman was in an anime.
There was a year where Disney was crazy popular. Like every Disney princess was there. There was a
Yeah.
huge
Well,
Disney
I think that
group.
was probably because of Kingdom Hearts.
But yeah, like I said, you
That
could
didn't
do
happen.
dress up basically whatever you want. And you see mashups too. You see a lot of like Deadpool something or like some other random character.
I like
mixed with
those. I
something
like the
else.
idea of those mashups. It's just like, it's to me, it's like okay, I want one character.
Oh yeah.
I want the purity.
Well, I mean, but for Deadpool, it's not that much of a break because that's how Deadpool is naturally in his comic anyway.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Like, he fucking fights Batman, he'll fucking end up having a battering out of nowhere. Like,
Like they had the Power Rangers dubstep type of thing. I forgot what it was, but it looked pretty weird. But you could tell it was a mashup of something else.
Yeah.
You just didn't know what it was. And the Castle Crashers, they had a mashup of that and something else.
I like Castle. It's a good game.
But
What about you, AJ? If you had the money, what
If I
cosplay?
had the money, yeah, I would have to go with armor, like Master Chief or Destiny or something. I'm not much of. I watch anime, but I'm not much of an anime. I don't fit nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Edward.
maybe a
from-
comic. Oh, Edward from Edward because it's short.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be the best because you have the armor on the arm, you know. I
Yeah,
would do
I could do that, and or this this cosplay cost
you
an
can be
arm and a
Metal
leg.
Mario.
Metal Mario. You fucking hot. Just cover myself in aluminum.
You're just gonna be the Tin Man.
Tin Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
But other than that, I think I'll go either towards video games or comics as a character. Because comic book characters are usually just in huge suits, anyways.
I agree with you. If I had the money, I would go straight into the armor. Like the Halo armor is fucking awesome. And then especially now with For Honor, you know, like the knights.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's money, so might as well just buy the expensive armor you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can custom make it the way you want, get the money. So you could make it your size. You can also make it comfortable.
Yeah, I
'Cause
could be one of the Vikings, a berserker.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Oh, you're
Most
not-
likely, if you have the
oh.
if you have all the money
No, the
in the
berserker,
world
not
for
the
it,
not the big
you'd be able to
fucking buff.
try to like
X-Men.
have them install like freaking an AC unit inside the actual armor.
I seen that somewhere. I forgot where I saw this, where a guy had like a little fan inside the suit. And I think it was Halo armor too. So he got like a regular bike helmet, and he cut the back of it, like a hole in the back of the head. And I think he put like a little fan like for the computers, and he put like a little like battery, chargeable battery.
Just
And
so-
then the fan kept his head cool because of that motorcycle helmet. You know, he had closed up the visor.
yeah,
That's pretty smart.
yeah.
Imagine somebody fucking tackled him to the fucking wall.
There's liquid coolers for computers now too. There's I forgot what type of liquid they use, but they basically cools down the whole computer, and just thinking of putting that whole system inside an actual armor system. That'd be dope.
That's what I'm saying. Like with that type of money, you could fucking like have an AC unit built inside, and everyone would be like, "So is it hot in there?" "Yeah, it's pretty hot, bro." And just be like, "Dumbass."
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a problem a lot of cosplayers have with the whole like being hot and or maybe.
It's a huge problem.
And that brings up to my last question. I guess you could say, well, what's the worst thing about being a cosplayer?
I wouldn't say completely the community, but there is a big part of the community that's trash.
Mm.
A lot of it is just surrounded by people who just want to start shit. It's like Sombra comes out, right? People cosplay Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a Sombra cosplay, but then if you check Tumblr, everyone's yelling like, why is she cosplaying Sombra? She's not even brown. Why is she cosplaying Sombra? She's not brown and made herself brown. Like, and then there's this girl that was like, she doesn't know a word of Spanish. I know more Spanish than you. And then I'm just thinking, people who do anime cosplay all the time, they don't know a word of Japanese. They don't even know how to carry a conversation. Like, look me in the eye and tell me you know Japanese.
That's a good, like, to me, that's like, I don't know, I guess a good argument because a lot of times you see people like, don't do blackface, that's horrible. But I'm like, well, if you want to be a character that's a little darker in your skin color, you know, like let's say I want to be Lucille.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that dark. I'm pretty white compared to him. But if I want to be him, do I color my skin?
I could give you the just like suck on a bottle, like make your lips all fat and heavy, and then like we'll just black paint you.
There's a lot of like back and forth just because blackface wasn't
But he's
in the
Brazilian.
States.
I mean, there's always that stupid shit. It's like how certain people say that, oh, this anime is racist, and they try to like blame like a certain race, and it's like, you guys do realize all these anime are made mostly by the, you know, Asian Japanese community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so technically none of it's fucking racist. You guys are just fucking, because we're just in that day and age now where everyone just likes to bitch and whine about every little thing.
But they don't realize that in Europe and stuff, blackface was never a thing. So cosplayers out there do it. They do paint their skin pretty regularly.
Yeah,
They just do it out of accuracy though.
that reminded me of Ross from Game Grumps. He's from Australia.
Yeah.
He's saying the same thing over there. They had a commercial where a guy was in, I think it was like a football game. No, a soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, they call it football. And the guy was like, wow, this crowd is rowdy because I guess their team was mad. And so the crowd was black, mainly black, not all black. And so what he did, they were trying to advertise food, chicken. He brings out a bucket of chicken and everyone's not rowdy anymore because the chicken made him happy. Over there, it's not racist because there's just, oh, look, our food tastes good. Even if your team's losing, you'll feel happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because there was a couple, well, more, there was probably like maybe 51% of black people in that group. They're like, that's racist. They're trying to say all black people like chicken, but I was like, over there, that never exists. They didn't enslave Africans like the Americans did. That's different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that
Who doesn't like chicken? God damn it!
Everyone likes chicken, well, except for fucking vegans and shit.
yeah, they're vegans.
Bitches.
But yeah, I can see why that'd be one of the worst things to do, because especially if you're making cosplay and you want to be a different culture, like you want to be, you're Filipino, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be someone that's Mexican, which is sombra.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, you don't know Spanish. But I was like, dude, I'm cosplaying. I just like this
If they're
character.
gonna be nitpicky like that, then that's when you just start being, all right, you're pretty fucking fat. Just saying, pretty kind of ugly. You don't look like Sombra. You don't got them toe shoes, bitch.
And then
I
Do
mean,
you
if
know
they
IT? I know IT, you bitch.
I mean, if they want to be that critical and be like, oh, well, that's not a fucking real gun. It doesn't look real.
They get pretty darn critical, even about Sombra's voice actor. She's Colombian, and people get a little bit on her on that too. Just because she's not Mexican. Yeah, it gets pretty fucking deep. And I'm like, and then when the lunar skins came out for the Overwatch event, people were like, if you're gonna cosplay Diva's like little dress,
Yeah.
you know, it's very like traditional. Do it right, blah blah blah. Thanks for your interest in our culture. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they don't have no interest in your culture. They just really like how this looks.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, that's why people choose specific cosplays, because it just looks cool.
Yeah.
But everyone makes it a big thing, and then that's a little...
Overwatch is mainly just Barbies for everybody.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
just give your
much.
character. Who gives a fuck?
My
dude?
coworker was like, I think there's a lot of Asian people. There's 4 out of like 20-something
And then
characters.
if you look at the world, there's a lot of like Asian. The word Asian just means people that are from the same kind of part of the world.
Part of the region.
Yeah, part of the region. There you go. That's what I was looking for. And there's Korean, Chinese, Japanese. You know,
Yeah.
there's like there's a lot of Asians. No,
Well, Korea is in a different spot than Asia, but they get lumped in anyways. Like South America, there's some people think, oh, Mexico or Central America.
yeah, it's the same thing with Guatemalans and Mexicans. You're like, oh, are you Mexican? I'm Guatemalan. So you're Mexican? No, I'm Guatemalan.
Yeah, I'm Guatemalan, but I'm also Mexican. But I use it only when it's needed. So like, if a Guatemalan gang's coming up to me and they're like, "You Guatemalan?" Yeah. Mexican will be like, if
It's
they're
the whole
bigger.
King of the Hill thing, dude. So are you Chinese or Japanese? I lay ocean. So are you Chinese or Japanese?
The ocean.
The ocean. That's my first.
Them squinting types.
Oh my god.
King of Hill is some kind of racist. That's a good show though. Anyways, all right. Well, back to the cosplaying. Other than, well, I actually want to talk more about the community. Like, how do people contact each other in that community? Like, do you guys just like meet up at places, or do you run into them by accident?
Or usually, when it comes to meetups, people always check Facebook, or like, it's usually by ear. Someone tells each other about it, and the word gets out. It's like for this year, AX gatherings, I only know about them through Facebook. I just looked blah 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 gatherings and see whoever organized them. Usually we try to be respectful when it comes to like, we don't want two people organizing two different ones and end up on the same day, and like they just want everyone all together. Mm-hmm. So if someone already sees someone organizing a gathering, they won't do it. They'll just go to that gathering.
No, it's nice.
So
That's what putting
it's
together.
all by ear.
That's cool.
Everyone's really nice.
I mean, that's the one we went to with the whole. What was it called?
WonderCon.
WonderCon, yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of content.
Yeah, that's when we saw Momo-kun or something. Yeah.
I've seen Momo in both of those Overwatch gatherings that I've gone to.
Oh,
But she wasn't in Overwatch.
And we're talking about Overwatch, but for people that don't know, Rolonda actually met the voice actor to Reinhardt and also Torbjörn.
They're really nice. Oh, they've also come to it's also a way for fans to interact with the people who worked on it, because even we have the Nier gathering coming up on day 1. The voice of 2B is going to be there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so it's like a really crazy, cool opportunity for us to connect with, or them to connect with their fans too.
I wish I'd go the first day now. I actually want to see the voice actor.
See, for me, it would be like I didn't want to see the actor. I want to see the engineer that like did all the graphic arts designs and also did like the physics with the chips and all that. That would probably be me.
You would be the only guy that knows it. No, but actually, that's a good question. Do the people that make the games go to cons to meet the fans? Because
Like-
they're gonna work on the next project.
For example, Niers, like everything was done out in Japan.
Yeah, I know that's true.
For game designers, and like when you get a team together, it's kind of like construction. You got to contract with these people. You got to meet up deadlines and all that.
Oh wait, it wasn't
And
all that in
then
Japan.
when you're done with that, you have to look for another job, because when you're doing big projects like that, either you join their team and continue making with them, or freelance and you have to be on your own, just like going to team, whichever needs you, who pays the highest bill.
That what you're talking about makes me want to do a podcast about, like, I wish I knew someone that made games. That'd be a really good podcast.
Some of my games.
I know a few, but they're all introverts. Anyone that went to my school. Because Eddie was in the game design part, but then there was game development as a program, and I think that's more money in that, because no one wants to do that part.
It's really hard, and a lot of phases go to it, and a lot of...
This guy was like really...
You're never going to see daylight. Just like me when I get my job. No, I'm not going to see daylight.
Into the computers, right?
No one wants to see your face anyway.
Wait, so explain to me what's the difference of the game designer and the game program.
Game programmer puts in all, like, what's it going to do? What is this action going to do? It puts the inputs on what's going to happen. The designer has to go around what his actions are going to do. So for what type of physics are we going to go for? What type of game we're going to go? Is it a platformer? Is it a free roam? How does everything interact? That's the programmer's job. Designer's supposed to like make sure this all looks good.
Oh, so designer is the person that makes the skins for Overwatch characters.
And the skins also have to interact with the environment around them, so they do have to work closely with them. So like, let's say you take bullet wounds, or like if you're in like the mods they make in Skyrim, if it's in a cold area and there's this mod where like you have snow on you, the skins will change along with the environment. So like,
so it's probably a lot more money in that then, huh?
Yeah. And nowadays, like, internet's blowing up. All these games are blowing up. A lot of stuff is getting better. I didn't like the new Xbox One X because it's like they just try to sell like a graphics design. They're basically their whole thing is just graphics.
4K.
But it's bullshit.
I hate people always like really focus on that. The graphics are better. I get it. You want a game to look realistic, but how real can you make a game? You know, like there's gonna be a point where you just reach the top part, and on top of that, you want the game to be fun, not just look good. If a game just looks good, it's not fun. I mean, might as well just watch a movie. You know?
Yeah, dude. This is why I just recently just started going back to like old school games, because they may not look as fucking fantastic as all the new games, but at least they're fucking still fun. They're still great. You know, like fucking most stupid games, they give you the whole fucking game. It's not like, oh, you bought the game, but now you have to pay another thing for the rest of the half of the game. By the way, and it's gonna cost you almost as much as the game.
Yeah,
have fun. Bye.
Yeah, that's the thing that games lost their luster about. Like they forgot about the play. What's the concept of it? Like Mario was, I gotta jump on this, do that. It's a simple concept, but it was fun. Mm-hmm. That's why Overwatch is booming. It has great art at times, but it's not like overbearing art. Like, was it that that one PlayStation game with the robots and the girl. Forgot her name.
Near?
No, not Near. Well, Near is
Robots
also
and the
a
girl?
good. It was Zero Dawn.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Zero Dawn was. I have that game now. Shit's fun, but like it's a simple concept that Overwatch is doing. Is
Because the thing when it comes to like art, they try to make, or when it comes to art towards realism, the closer to realism you can try to get, the more criticism it can get, just because people know what real things look like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just gonna be like, that looks fake AF.
so does that bring up back to our point of like when people are like always complaining about, do you fit this narrative of like this character?
I don't think so. I'm just talking about like when people try to make things look real, because when I would do more realistic drawing, you can critique more on something that's supposed to look real because we know what it's supposed to look like. But when it comes to things that are more stylized, like this game that I just saw during the E3 thing called Animal Crossing. I'm gonna switch to Animal Crossing. We know those are people. We know those are animals, but we're not gonna be like, oh well, their tail's too long, because it's not supposed to look like anything in particular.
They're anthropomorphic.
It's very stylized.
Yeah.
I prefer stylized.
I like where you're going from the whole art thing, because you do graphic design for your job, right? Yeah. So for people that don't know, she's also an artist. You can probably check out her work. I'll put a link in below. I never thought about that. That's true. When something's a little more realistic when it comes to art, especially in games, people complain about it. Especially like to me, the best example would be like the Grand Theft Auto, where they try the new one that came out 5, where try to make it look as close to San Francisco and LA as possible, which was great. But some people complain like, I remember seeing that, and a lot of people were like, no, it looks just like it. It was 50-50. Now if you go take it to a whole new world like Destiny, no one complains about the world. The world doesn't exist. I never thought about that. That's another good topic for a podcast we could do. But let's go back to the cosplay.
So Rolonda,
Segue.
let me ask you this. I mean, since you started doing cosplaying and to up where you are now, like, how you feel about making cosplays, has it changed at all, or do you still feel it's exactly the same?
I think it's fun. I take it more seriously now. I don't like procrastinate, because the amount of procrastination I've done for the last few, the only reason why I got Korra done is because it was a Halloween costume. And so that was my due date. And since my due date was ahead of time, I did have it for, I didn't even wear it to Kamikaze. What did I wear it? Oh, Anime Expo.
Yeah,
That's kind of just in a box. But I do take a lot of time to work on cosplay now. Definitely now than before.
So you feel like you like it more now?
Definitely, since like being in the cosplay community, everyone kind of supports each other. Everyone wants to see progress, so it makes you motivated to like take pictures of what you're doing. Oh, I'm about to sew this together. Oh, about to do this. Oh, about to do that.
And people will comment and like say,
Yeah, you're held
give you
accountable.
tips and all that. That's really cool.
It's a really nice community.
That's good.
So they're a big reason why I'm taking it more seriously.
But in order to get views, we need to talk about the salt, the greasy stuff. So like, who sleep with who? Who's a bitch?
There's no fucking novella.
You want to know this shit.
There's a little bit of drama, but then like when it comes to art, and there's like so many egos in one room, someone's gonna say something, or like definitely in front of someone. But I haven't personally like experienced that.
But every now and then I
hear about it a lot.
about the superiority of someone else's, but they're like bullshit.
Yeah, because usually it's the people I've met have been crazy supportive.
What's one thing that you heard about, like something happened like that?
I follow this cosplayer. She does a lot of competitions, and once she did a competition where she was in the same cosplay as someone else. So of course they're gonna compare, and then she just like felt looked down on. But then that was like a lot of lower competition. She went to this really serious one recently, and she thought her experience was great. Everyone was so supportive. How'd you do that? How'd you do this? Oh, I did this, I did, like, everyone's just sharing tips. Other people, they just keep this secret, like, this is my magic trick. I will show no one. But I think the cosplay community is mostly about learning, and when it comes to those people who, instead of learn after another, just
Fucking
feel
destroy
better
each
about
other.
themselves. Yeah, they just take people down.
With Patreon, like, is it really help the cosplay community?
I don't think it does anything for specifically the cosplay community. Like some people on Patreon make a specific tier for craftsmanship. It shows all the DIY, everything that the cosplayer is like wants to know. Like, oh, how'd she do that? Okay, then that's where you go to see that. But the rest is like fan service. when it comes to like the sexy stuff, and
Yeah.
just for whoever watches them just to look at them, not watching them for the sake of getting inspiration.
Like I saw I viewed some Patreons that were kind of dumb. Like one was like, I put in $1, half five, yeah. Internet half five was, I don't care, that's a pretty cool one.
Internet high-five.
And $5 was like, thank you for giving me $5. I was like, okay, I thought it was something. $10 was like, shout out.
The big thing I don't understand is fan signs. Fan signs is a very like popular thing, which is pretty much a selfie and they're holding a sign that says their name, which is like I don't care about that person, but then those are for the people who actually do care.
Some people have great ones, like $1. Like they get like 3 things. I forgot who it was, but she's like, I'll send you stickers and like a signed picture of me. That's like for $1. I was like, oh. And then $5 for a lot more stuff. And like, I see how it is. Like the bigger you are, the smaller rewards you give them. But the smaller you are, the more rewards you give them. But I saw this person; she was pretty big at the time, but she was still keeping her the same way. I don't know. What do you do for your Patreon?
I don't have a Patreon, but like when I support one, I do it just because I want to. I know that person, but like not because I want whatever they're giving. Because like when it comes to cosplay, everyone learned their stuff online. Like to be honest, why would I pay for tips and then the rest is just the behind the scenes? But I don't really care too much about the behind the scenes, depending on what you're doing. If I see that you incorporated lights into your dress and it doesn't look bad, then I'm like, how'd you do that? Then I'll like look more into it. But I've never been a fan of a female and been like, I want to see you.
Or male.
Or a male. Or like, there's only one male cosplayer that I know that has a Patreon.
No, for real?
Yeah.
I pay for multiple
But
things.
he also tries to do fan service things. The main thing, he does a Hanzo cosplay, and he did a sexy Hanzo bedroom scene with a diva and a widowmaker. But then so far it all looks like really weird. But I don't care to see that stuff. If I support you, I will. But like I won't do it for those.
So let me know.
No, there's actually an option. What's his name?
Over there? The dragon thing, and you see both of them just fly.
I want to see this diva.
It's the one that I sent you before. She's like half German, half Japanese.
Oh yeah. You see that.
So about that 14-year-old. No, I was kidding.
Is that why you're asking about the other question? You're one of those people that's just like, oh, I'm waiting for someone to say that they're gonna send me like
4 more
nudes
years
of
Gary.
them.
4 more years.
You're just one of those people like, oh, I'll go to your patriarch if you'll send me nudes.
Like, cosplay is lewds, not nudes. Almost naked, not naked.
But that's what he's hoping for.
No, I'm just kidding.
That'll be
This is
pretty.
really bad. I don't want to go to jail.
This is taking a wrong turn.
You fucking pedophile. Anyways. That's a good question
came
about
up to me.
the Patreon you're talking about. I've seen a lot of cosplayers do the whole like Patreon thing, and people run it differently. Some people run it just help me support, and I'll be this person. I need. They'll one or two things. They'll ask you, oh, if you support my costume, then I'm gonna be this person. Or they'll do the second thing where, oh, you support me, I'll be wherever you want, which sounds kind of harsh. But anyways, the whole Patreon thing, I think really does help a lot of people because it does cost money to do the cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
But thing is, you gotta remember, it is your hobby. But if you're doing cosplay like constantly, I can see why you're going to Patreon. It does help to have a little money.
I don't think it should be your main source of income. I mean, like, if you're really gonna, like, when people go on GoFundMe, some people like fund everything for me. But like, I think it should be, you should have your sum, and I just need to reach this goal because I just need a few more bucks. I just don't make that much.
Which is the ideal. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should. That's why I see it. The way I see it is like, I put this much into what I want to do. Which, yeah, it's my hobby. But I want to do a little more. If you guys want to help out, if you guys like my work, I'll keep doing it. It's like YouTubers, they keep doing these videos. We like the videos, like JonTron videos and whatnot.
I miss you.
I know, right? So that's what I see. Like when I seen some cosplay on Patreon. I forgot who she is or what. She done a fair cosplay. She only had enough money to do the helmet, which kind of sucks. She did the whole fair cosplay, but she did have the Patreon do the armor. And like I think our Overwatch characters, that Pharaoh costume is probably one of the hardest and most expensive. And I will support that because she actually does look like a pretty good, decent Pharaoh. Not exactly, but she did make the helmet on her own with her own money, and she's on Patreon. She's like, look, I'm gonna try and make the rest. If you guys want to help me out, then thank you. If not, then I'm gonna try to see if I could get my own money. And that's what Patreon should be for. But like Rolonda says, a lot of them are the lewds and nudes and.
Because like no one actually makes money through cosplay. It's always through prints, through buttons, through appearances. No one or like maybe if you're like really good and then the company hires you to like stand at a booth, okay, and that's when you're making money with cosplay. But for the most part, no one does that. Or it's all through prints and stuff. So usually people use their Patreon to push prints and stuff.
That's still pretty good though.
Because one of the
We
best
should do
cosplayers I
a
follow.
sexy one for us.
No, I'm good.
You can do whatever the hell you want.
It's like
I
in the
do
middle
not
of
agree.
OCD. It's like,
I do not agree with AJ, so that's him.
you're gonna be the D.
Well,
Photographer.
Please, if you guys have problems with how AJ is talking, feel free to have the cops arrest him. And that ain't my shit.
he's a pedophile. Anyway, the reason I also bring up the Patreon
Thrown under
because
the bus.
we do put this on YouTube for free and also doing this on Patreon. The only reason we're doing it for Patreon is we put our money into the mics and the program and the editing software that we had to use on the computers.
It's only to help us out. That's it.
It's just the Patreon thing is just to help us out, just so we get better mics. Instead of having literally the setup we have right now, if we have a mic on top of a box, so that sounds good.
We have like 3 mics right now. Gary's at one end of the table. I'm at the other end of the table, and they're like on the other on this.
They're like almost at the other side of the room.
Yeah, me and Rolonda are talking on one mic and one on the side of the room. I would be happy to have everyone have their own mic and we could be closer together instead of this distance in the room.
Yeah. Closer is better.
The closeness.
Ooh, nice.
So, before we go, Rolonda, do you have any plugins? Do you have maybe your next cosplay, or do you want to say anything?
Follow me on Instagram, Maradno, for progress. And that's sort of all I've got so far. I started streaming on Twitch as of recently, but that's not crazy developed yet. But
You're forgetting like the main thing
it's
to
growing.
say. You're supposed to be like, I'll see you guys all at AX. Bye.
I'll see you all at AXPO.
Yeah, if anything, if you guys want her, I'm gonna put her IG so you can see her cosplay, and then also her when she does the Twitch thing a little more. I'll probably put that up too later on because I want to help my friends out. Also, too, if you guys want to leave comments below about her cosplay in our podcast, be free.
Comments, complaints. We really don't care.
Don't call the FBI.
No, please have him arrested. We need a new third
Came
member.
on to me.
That's not the way we heard
I
it.
didn't ask for this.
But yeah, hopefully our next topic will probably be something around about the anime expo because we actually go to a lot of expos now I think about it. Or conventions, yeah. I'm sorry. We did was it?
Dude, we should go to
Kamikaze?
Monster Palooza.
No, Son of Monster Palooza's next. I think Monster Palooza ended already.
No, there's one in September, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or one in October.
I thought it was in the summer.
I don't remember, but
That or just passed.
What ask my sisters about this?
yeah. But if you guys want to catch Rolonda at these expos, you can follow her on her Instagram, and you'll probably see her walking around with her boyfriend does cosplay too. I'll put a picture of his cosplay probably on this podcast.
We call him Little Bitch. Just saying.
Yeah, he's actually my bass player for people that don't know. Anyways, thank you for liking, subscribing. Bye.
Bye.